Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about something unbelievable happening in Brazil. Right now, the Brazilian government is building a so-called sustainable highway. But to do that, they are cutting straight through the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon is one of the most important ecosystems on Earth. It's home to millions of species and helps regulate the global climate by absorbing huge amounts of CO2. Destroying parts of it for a highway seems completely contradictory to any environmental goal. The reason for this highway? It's being built for an upcoming climate summit in Brazil. Yes, you heard that right. A summit where world leaders will gather to discuss how to save nature and fight climate change. But to make it easier for them to travel, they're cutting down a huge piece of rainforest. How hypocritical is that? On one hand, these leaders will give speeches about saving the planet and protecting forests. But on the other hand, they are destroying the very thing they say they want to protect, all for their own convenience. Instead of setting an example and showing how we can live in balance with nature, they are showing the world that when it becomes inconvenient, nature is the first to go. Experts warn that this highway will lead to more deforestation, threaten indigenous communities, and release large amounts of CO2. History shows that once roads are built in the Amazon, illegal loggers, miners, and land grabbers follow quickly, making the situation even worse. Indigenous groups living in the Amazon are also speaking out. They say their homes, their way of life, and the rainforests they protect are all in danger because of this project. The Amazon is not just important for Brazil, it's important for the entire world. It produces a huge part of the oxygen we breathe, stores massive amounts of carbon dioxide, and helps stabilize the global climate. It's also home to thousands of animal and plant species that don't exist anywhere else on Earth. And let's not forget, there are still uncontacted and isolated tribes living deep in the jungle. These are people who have lived in harmony with the forest for centuries. Did you know that there are still around 100 to 150 uncontacted tribes living deep in the Amazon rainforest? These are indigenous groups that have had little to no contact with the outside world. They rely completely on the jungle for their food, medicine, and shelter. But sadly, these tribes are increasingly under threat. As more trees are cut down for roads, mining, and agriculture, their living space becomes smaller and smaller. Many tribes are forced to flee deeper into the forest, and some are even wiped out by diseases brought in from outside, diseases they have no immunity against. In the past decades, dozens of indigenous tribes have disappeared completely, either because of violence from illegal loggers and miners, or because their land was destroyed. That's why it's so important to protect the Amazon. Not just for nature, but also for the people who live there and for the future of our planet. So, what can we do? First, stay informed and aware of what's happening. Second, share this information because the more people know, the harder it becomes for governments to ignore the damage. And third, hold leaders accountable. A real climate summit should protect the environment, not destroy it. If you care about the planet, if you care about the Amazon, keep talking about this and spreading awareness. Thanks for listening.